guys, it's me, and I'm afraid I have some really terrible news. If you haven't heard already, horror master George A. Romero is no longer with us. He died earlier today at the age of 77. Now, hopefully all you know who George A. Romero is, but I guess if you don't, he's most well known for the infamous Dead trilogy, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and then he actually made even more entries in that franchise later on with Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead, which those ones weren't quite as good as Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, but they're still pretty good. I liked how he was still making them. I liked how they were still coming out. That was what he was best known for. And he was still making sequels. He was making more in the series even after they'd been remade and after they'd been around for so many years. He left behind quite a legacy that'll never be forgotten. He was a huge part of my life as a horror fan, and as well as several other fans of the horror genre as well. I'm quite sure. And in addition to the Dead movies, which as I said were his most well-known work, he's most known for. He also directed Creepshow, one of my favorites, where he collaborated with Stephen King, who wrote it. He directed it. Also, The Crazies, the original of The Crazies. The Dark Half, that was a good one. Monkey Shines, which I thought was a pretty good horror movie, and a few others. He's had quite an interesting career. He's done a lot of great movies, and really hasn't done anything. He hasn't had like a lot of terrible movies like some other great horror directors. Wes Craven, they all have, they all have their low points. But I think George Romero mostly has had a pretty solid career. It's very unfortunate he's not with us anymore. I loved his movies. Dawn of the Dead is great. I think even Day of the Dead is really underrated. I think Day of the Dead had cooler looking zombies. The zombie effects were a lot better, and it was easily the goriest of the original 3 Dead movies that he did. I also like Night of the Living Dead a lot too. I love the isolated feeling, in the house in the middle of nowhere. The zombies just keep coming. They're just creeping up on it. All these survivors. Most people like Dawn of the Dead the best, and I agree. I love the mall setting. I love Ken Foray and Tom Savini and the bikers and stuff. Great movie. They're all great in different ways. But I think the Day of the Dead had the best zombies for the original trilogy. And I like the more recent movies too. Sadly, won't be making any more. George Romero, he was a horror great, a legend in the genre. Just very unfortunate that he's not around anymore. 77. He lived a pretty long life. It's pretty good. Late 70s. Pretty long life, which is good. So, but still, it's pretty upsetting, as a horror fan, to hear about one of my heroes passing, as it always is. I realized that I haven't reviewed any of the Dead movies. I did review Creepshow. I think that's the only movie of his I reviewed. But I definitely need to get on. I need to review Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and all of them, for sure, because they are some of my favorite movies. I have all 3 of them on VHS and DVD, several different versions actually. I bought those movies so many times. I love them. There's a lot of different versions out there of Night of the Living Dead, especially. There's probably at least 60 different covers. I used to have a really awesome poster of it too, but it's got torn up, unfortunately. I love his Dead movies. I love pretty much everything he's done, and of course Creepshow. Probably my favorite thing he's done that isn't part of the Living Dead trilogy, actually 6 films now, but I always called it a trilogy for years, and Land of the Dead came out, and so technically you can't call it anymore. Living Dead franchise, I guess you could say. It's just so sad when you're getting older and you start losing all your heroes, and very unfortunate. Rest in peace, George A. Romero. Your body of work will leave an everlasting impact, and as I said, will never be forgotten. And I'm going to be watching. I'll probably watch Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead tonight in honor of him. Maybe Day of the Dead if I get to it, and probably the others as well. At least I'll finish them today. I'll finish them tomorrow. Very sad news. I guess that about covers it. Long live the. This fucking thing. I could just throw it. Yeah, long live the Dead movies. Long live George Romero. His work will live on. Um, and he inspired a lot of great directors. Fellow masters of the macabre and the grotesque. He had a very he was a very important figure in horror and had a very massive impact on the genre. So yeah, it's pretty upsetting, but I'm gonna go honor him by watching his movies. All right, guys. Well, I'm Hellhound, and thank you for watching another video. Rest in peace, George Romero. And I hope you guys do the same. Let me know what you think of his movies in the comments, and I'll definitely get to them eventually. I'll definitely start reviewing them. They'll each probably get their own video. Starting with Night of the Living Dead from 1968. And on that note, sounds like somebody was already watching it. But, alright guys, until next time.